Hello guys, now we are going to discuss about the critical angle. So critical angle is the angle of incidence in the denser medium for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is 90 degree. So very simple definition that you have to keep in mind. Critical angle is the angle of incidence in the denser medium for which the angle of refraction in a rarer medium is 90 degree is called critical angle. So critical angle is always formed in the denser medium. Keep this thing in mind. And critical angle cannot be formed in the rarer medium. Okay, so critical angle always formed inside the denser medium. So let's say first we have the normal case of refraction. Light comes and light bends in from its path. Let's say this is denser medium and the top one is rarer medium. Okay, and now a special case happens when we have incident ray. Let me change the color. So we have incident ray, and then what happens here? See carefully. Okay, the light come along this path. Let's say light is coming like this, and after striking the surface, light will pass along the surface. Keep in mind, after striking the surface, light will travel along the surface, and in this situation, angle of refraction is 90 degree. So let's say this is the light ray which is traveling along the surface. Keep this thing in mind. Light ray is traveling along the surface. Okay, so what is happening here? This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. So keep one thing in mind. When the angle of refraction is 90 degree in the rarer medium, then the angle of incidence is known as critical angle. Okay, so here we have this is rarer medium and then this is denser medium. Okay, and what we have here, this angle is called critical angle. Very simple definition, critical angle. Okay, so very simple definition of critical angle. Angle of incidence in the denser medium corresponding which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. This is called critical angle. Now, if sometime they ask you to find the value of critical angle, you can simply use a Snell's law to find the value of critical angle. So how we can find the critical angle? Very easy. Let's say this is medium first, refractive index mu1, then we have medium 2, refractive index mu2. So we can find light is traveling from 1 to 2, and then we apply Snell's law. So that is sine angle of incidence, which is the critical angle, upon sine angle of refraction, that is 90 degree. So we got 1 mu2 is equals to sine IC. So this is the relation through which you can find the value of critical angle. This is a very important relation, and by this you can find the value of critical angle. Keep this thing also in mind. And one special thing that I want to tell you, whenever light travel along the surface, this thing is called grazing. Keep this thing in mind. This is called grazing. Okay, so when light graze along the surface, after refraction, the corresponding angle of incidence is called critical angle. Okay, and there are some factors on which critical angle depends. We can discuss these factors also. So very easy factors which can affect the critical angle. Okay, so I'm going to discuss those factors also. So let's say we got a formula which is 1 mu2, and that is sine IC. Now we are writing this thing like mu2 by mu1. Okay, and mu2 is the refractive index of rarer medium, which is air. So what is the refractive index of air? That is 1. And then we have mu1 is the refractive index of the denser medium, which may be water, which may be glass, any medium. We can put any medium in mu1. Okay, now here you get a simple relation between the critical angle and refractive index of the medium. Now we get the simple relation, critical angle is inversely proportional to the refractive index. Okay, so when we have two mediums, the medium, we have diamond and we have glass, we have diamond and we have glass. Which have more critical angle? Can you tell me which have more critical angle? The critical angle of critical angle is inversely proportional to refractive index. So since diamond has high refractive index, more refractive index than glass, therefore the critical angle of glass should be more than the critical angle of diamond. This thing you have to keep in mind. Very important concept. Diamond, so you can write like critical angle of diamond, critical angle of diamond. So that's how you can make the symbol. You can make the symbol in any way. So this is the one conclusion.